There's a lot of really bogus stuff in this movie. I'm SirDinosaur from Planet X, and now it's time for a movie review. Okay, so right off the bat, this movie is ridiculous. In the opening crawl, it says that Emperor Palpatine is back. Wait, they're serious? Are you kidding me? What do you mean Palpatine is back? That guy is super dead. Like, there's no way. Am I crazy? Do I have a screw loose? I thought that guy fell down into like several hundred feet into the Death Star 2's core or whatever, and the whole space station blew up, and since he fell like several hundred feet, he went splat and definitely did not get into an escape pod and somehow get out of range. There is absolutely no way that this guy is alive, and the only way anyone can explain it is that the people who made this movie were like, oh, whoops. And people who made the last movie ran the story into the ground during The Last Jedi, and so the people who made this movie were like, uh-oh, who's a famous villain in Star Wars? Oh, Palpatine. People know who that guy is. But wait, isn't he dead? Yeah, but it's sci-fi, whatever. We can do whatever we want, right? Anyway, I dislike this movie already. So Kylo Ren kills some people on a planet and goes and finds Palpatine, who is somehow alive on this planet that is somehow hidden from everybody. How do you hide a planet? I don't know. Turns out Palpatine is behind everything again. He's the guy behind Snoke and the guy behind the First Order. Okay, fine. I guess that's what they're going with. Palpatine has like a zillion Star Destroyers chilling on his evil planet, and he says, hey, Kylo Ren, you can have those if you kill Rey. And Kylo Ren is like, yeah, sure. Then we see Rey on a forest planet and Leia is training her. Rey seems mad. She has visions about bad stuff and Kylo Ren has visions about bad stuff. And maybe they're going to do a thing where they try to make Rey go to the dark side or something. Poe Dameron and Finn find out what's going on, and there's this really goofy scene where Poe says, somehow Palpatine returned. Everybody in the movie is looking around like, oh no. But I'm looking around like, does nobody realize this is funny? It's so lazy. So they go to a desert planet called Pasana to find like a map thingy that can show Rey where the Palpatine evil planet is. They say hi to Lando, who's old now, and he points them towards this weird dagger thingy that has like Sith language. There's a lot of running around because stormtroopers show up, but the good guys get away. But then Kylo Ren shows up in a TIE fighter, so Rey faces him on foot for some reason, which seems like not the wisest move, honestly. The stormtroopers and Kylo Ren's goons called the Knights of Ren capture Chewbacca and the dagger thingy. Then there's this goofy part where Kylo Ren is like, I'm gonna run you down on the TIE fighter. And Rey's like, I'm gonna do a backflip and chop up your ship with my lightsaber. And I'm over here laughing pretty hard because Kylo Ren is such a dummy. Just shoot at her with your ship guns. Duh. Then Rey tries to keep the other bad guy ship from leaving with Chewbacca and the dagger thingy, and Kylo Ren somehow survived his ship crashing, so he and Rey play force tug of war with the ship, and then things get out of hand when Rey uses force lightning on the ship, and it blows up. What? Rey went to the dark side? She killed Chewbacca by mistake? What's going on? For now, Rey and Finn leave on some other ship. Hey, wait a minute. Is this movie trying to say that Rey used Force lightning by accident with no training in the dark side? Not even Darth Vader uses Force lightning in the old movies. That's just an Emperor Palpatine thing, unless I'm missing something. Also, if Rey used Force lightning and definitely killed people on the ship, isn't that murder and therefore automatic dark side status? Did they write a first draft of the script like the day before they started to shoot the movie? Anyway, the good guys go to a different planet called Kijimi to get the Sith text on the dagger translated, and they meet this lady friend that Poe has and a little gremlin guy. They all blah blah for a bit, then Rey realizes due to her force powers that Chewbacca is alive on a Star Destroyer, so she, Finn, and Poe go invade one of those. They just kind of show up and shoot a lot of stormtroopers, and that's really easy for some reason. But then they get surrounded by stormtroopers once they find Chewbacca. Okay, but Rey is off elsewhere on the ship looking around, and she finds Kylo Ren and his weird Darth Vader helmet pedestal. But also it's weird because they're not technically in the same place, but they're still fighting. Rey has like a repressed flashback of her parents, and also General Hux reveals to Poe and Finn that he's the Resistance spy because he thinks Kylo Ren is a bully. Then this movie gets straight up wacky. Rey and Kylo Ren meet in person, and Kylo Ren is all like, "Hey Rey, guess what? Emperor Palpatine is your grandpa?" Wait, what? You gotta be kidding me. That guy had kids? I don't even want to think about the implications, you guys. That means that some lady did some grown-up stuff with the ugliest person in all of Star Wars. Yuck! But yeah, so Poe and Finn get back to the Millennium Falcon, and Rey gets on and they run away, and General Hux gets shot by another First Order officer guy. Okay, then the good guys go down to some moon or whatever, and they meet a bunch of people on space horses led by this lady. Then they have this whole bit where Rey finds like wreckage of the second Death Star and goes in there to find a map thingy that will show her where the Palpatine planet is. Oy vey. Anybody who watched Return of the Jedi knows that there is no major wreckage of the second Death Star. It went kablamo on screen. Maybe there's like little itty bitty fragments like floating around in space, but there's no way that there are like big chunks that you can climb around in. And even if there were, they would not have survived burning through a planet or moon's atmosphere. Duh! So this is the second time that the people who made this movie don't know anything about Star Wars. Why is this allowed? Anyway, Kylo Ren shows up again and he's like, "Hey Rey, what's up girl?" And they fight again. Kylo wins the duel but gets distracted by Leia contacting him with the Force as she dies, so Rey kills him with his own lightsaber. Did anybody say dark side? But then she feels bad, so she heals Kylo Ren with the Force or whatever. So Rey takes Kylo Ren's ship and leaves, and Kylo Ren like talks with the vision of Han Solo or something, which also doesn't make any sense because Han Solo is not a Force ghost because he's not a Jedi. Ugh. So Rey exiles herself on the Luke Skywalker Island planet, and Palpatine now has Star Destroyers that are all like mini Death Stars, because of course he does. Like, why do I bother asking if any of this makes any sense anymore? Kylo Ren is all like, "I'm not Kylo Ren anymore, I'm Ben Solo now." And I'm like, okay, Force Ghost Luke Skywalker gives Rey a pep talk and he gives her Leia's lightsaber. I'm like, huh? Leia had a lightsaber? But then they show a flashback of Luke and Leia sparring on some planet with lightsabers, and I figured, okay, yeah, I guess Luke would have trained her sometime after Return of the Jedi. Then Force Ghost Luke Skywalker raises his old X-Wing fighter from the water like Yoda did a few movies ago, and Rey leaves. Meanwhile, all the other good guys meet up and talk about fighting back against the First Order and stuff. Rose from the last movie is there too. Oh yeah, Rose. Remember her? I feel like she got sidelined big time in this movie because her character was unpopular or something after the last movie. Then Rey gets to the evil Palpatine planet and somehow doesn't get blasted out of the sky by any of the zillion Star Destroyers with Death Star weapons that are like right there. She sneaks into the Palpatine like evil base. Then all the other Resistance ships arrive too and they start a big fight. I'm not quite sure of the like strategic point of this. Like, are they trying to defend the bad guy planet? Nobody lives there except bad guys, as far as we know. Whatever. The point is, Rey goes to confront Palpatine and she finds like an evil throne, but there's nobody on it. Then Palpatine appears and gives this really bogus explanation about how like everybody is a clone or whatever. Like Palpatine survived the Death Star to kablamo because he like teleported his consciousness across the galaxy to the evil planet where he had like a clone of himself in storage, which is the most bogus thing ever for a lot of reasons. First of all, if you have a clone, why is it still super ugly? Second, how the heck do the people who made this movie expect the audience to believe that Palpatine teleported his consciousness across the galaxy or whatever? And lastly, how could you expect a clone to have any Sith powers, much less the same powers that Palpatine had before? Also, why is this dude hooked up to a machine? Also, why are there Resistance people fighting like red stormtroopers on top of a Star Destroyer? Why are there all these red Imperial Guard dudes here? Why does Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, why does he dispatch the Knights of Ren so easily? Why? I'm ready for this movie to be over. So Palpatine is like, ooh, Rey and Kylo Ren, or whatever his name is, are linked by a Force dyad. whatever that means, so I can use that to recharge my body. Mwahaha! Meanwhile, outside, Lando shows up with like a zillion ships to help. Palpatine recharges, and then he uses his newfound power to force push Kylo Ren into like a pit of death or something, and he does like the biggest force lightning ever to attack the entire Resistance fleet at the same time. Then Rey stands against Palpatine with Luke and Leia's lightsabers, and Palpatine tries to zap her, but she parries it with the lightsabers, kind of like Mace Windu did in Revenge of the Sith. So Palpatine zaps himself to death, along with his 1 zillion Palpatine clones that were there in the stands like a stadium, since that was a thing in this scene for some reason. Then Kylo Ren, who is somehow not already dead, uses the Force to revive Rey, sacrificing himself. He smooches her and dies. Everybody celebrates. Rey goes to Luke's old house on Tatooine, puts his and Leia's lightsabers there, and when somebody asks who she is, Rey calls herself Rey Skywalker. Huh? What? Rey, you're not related to Luke. Also, you never asked the guy if he could like adopt you or anything. You're a Palpatine. Apparently your dad was like a failed Palpatine clone who couldn't use the Force, so at least your mom got down with a regular looking guy and not a creepy freakazoid, but still, you're a Palpatine. I mean, come on. You might as well call yourself Rey Vader or Rey Amidala or Rey Organa, since apparently your family name can just be whatever you feel like making it. You know what? I'm done. And so is this movie. So we're good. I realize I probably sounded a little more negative than usual in this review, but I gotta be honest, this movie is a mess. The plot, character arcs, several new aspects of the Force, and even the little details are pretty bogus, and eventually I was just ready for the movie to be over. It's probably a good thing that they took a break from making Star Wars movies for a while. Hopefully whenever they make a new one, it's more true to the spirit of the originals. Also, this movie is confusing and really violent, so this movie is not for kids.